Hola, Espazios. It's Miracleless. Lizzy had to drop out. Her mom didn't want her on YouTube, but it's okay. She's still a spaz in our hearts. Alright, so this week is all about embarrassing or random funny stories. Alex gave us this challenge and I'm gonna complete it. Alright, so this first story comes all the way from kindergarten. I was like 5 and I had this best friend named Daniel and we were so close, like we hung out all the time. We had sleepovers. Him and I were inseparable. You know those like blocks, those like wood blocks that like when you're in kindergarten you always want to play with, and when the teacher yells, "It's playtime," everyone runs over to the blocks. Well, Daniel and I one day decided we were going to play with the blocks. So the two of us went over to the big shelf where 1,000,000 blocks were, and we started playing. And we decided to make like a barrier around ourselves. I don't know why that was the first thing that we decided to do, but it was, and it was kind of fun. We made like windows. We were creative. And then all of a sudden I turned to him. Bear with me, I was 5 years old or something like that. I don't really know how old I was, whatever. And I was like, oh my god, this looks like the Titanic. Like, oh my gosh. And he's like, no it doesn't. And I was like, yeah, watch. And then I kissed him on the cheek. So instead of being happy, he ran out of the barrier we had just made, knocking down part of the wall, ran right up to the teacher and was like, kiss me! And then I came out and I was like, no I didn't, no I didn't, no I didn't. Long story short, don't kiss boys. They kiss and tell. My second story comes from when I was 9, maybe 10, I don't know. But my brother had just gotten this electric scooter and he thought he was so cool, and it was finally warm enough to use it because he got it for Christmas and now it was finally turning warm outside. And he wanted to use it outside. Our driveway is like a circle and then it goes straight down into the street and then there's the street. So he would ride it around in circles. My little sister and I, who was 2 at the time, so I'm like 7 years older than her, we were playing outside in her wagon, which had 2 seats and a big old pulley thingy, and I would pull her around and go as fast as I could to make her feel like she was on a roller coaster. So then my brother Rich came up to us and was like, hey, let's make a real roller coaster. Let's attach your wagon to my electric scooter and I'll pull you guys around. Doesn't that seem like fun? I thought so. So I was like, sure, why not? So we attached it and he started pulling us around. He was going around in circles and then he was like, hey, let's go down the hill. Not a smart idea. He went down the hill, made the sharp turn, and the wagon tipped over and Alyssa and I fell out. Now, Alyssa fell out and hit her face, so she cut her lip right here. She started bleeding. My parents came outside because Alyssa started screaming and they started yelling at Rich and I saying, how could you do this to your baby sister? She's getting hurt now, and blah 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 blah. And they pick her up and they drag her inside. Rich is not fine. So my parents left me outside sitting in the middle of the road. And I couldn't move because a chunk of skin was missing from my knee. Meanwhile, my parents are so freaked out about my sister, they don't even care. So I'm just sitting there bleeding and don't know what to do. So I had to hobble my way up the driveway by myself and try and hold back tears because I didn't want my parents to get more mad at me for crying. I still get mad at them for that to this day. I have a scar on my knee, but I'm not going to show you because it's kind of gross. So the next month and a half was spent with a knee brace on so that I wouldn't bend my knee, because every time I bent my knee, the cut would open more, and it really hurt, and plus I couldn't dance. Thanks, Mom and Dad. My last story is a really good one, which I will always remember. It's the day that my friend Julie decided to ask me to try out for the prep players. Now, I was sitting at home on Facebook because it's my life and that's what I do, and she IMs me, and she was like, "Hey, Erica, what are you doing tomorrow after school?" And I said, "Nothing, free. I have dance later, but I could do something right before dance. Why? What's up?" And she was like, "Because there's this thing at Iona called You Call That Entertainment, and I'm not sure what it is, but I kind of want to try out. I was wondering if you would do it with me." And I thought, sure, why not? Can't hurt. Meanwhile, we're thinking this is some type of talent show or something like that. We had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. Turns out it was an actual play. A student-directed play, but a play nonetheless. So we show up, and we meet this guy, Jason Summers, and he hands us sheets so we have to fill out with our email address, our names, our school, and blah, 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 blah. And then he hands us 3 different, summarizations of 3 different shows. And we had to pick one, and we had to read from that show. So I had never met these kids, and all these kids are all crowded around each other, talking, laughing, and they're all having a great time, and I'm like, I don't know you, but hey. I was so nervous. Oh my freaking Jesus Christmas. So Julie and I practiced lines back and forth ever, and then we decided, alright, let's go audition. So we went on the line, and I ran into my ex-boyfriend. That was great. By the way, this ex-boyfriend happens to be my boyfriend now. Yeah, after seeing him, I kind of realized why I liked him again. Anyways, so I went in for my auditions, and my brother went to this school. I go to an all-girls school. He goes to an all-boys school. The boys' schools hold the drama clubs. We don't. So they all were like, "Oh, what's your name?" Pick up the paper. Barton? Wait, like Rich Barton? Like Rich Barton's sister? Oh my god, you're Rich Barton's sister. I can see it now. I see it. Yeah. And I just stood there like, yep, that's me. So I auditioned, and I think I did a pretty good job. Got the cast list back. I got casted in this guy Anthony Suchet's show, and I got to know some of the best people in the entire world, and they are my best friends today. And then my friends from school who were not part of the Iona Prep Players before, I got them into it, and now they love it, and they're having a great time, and I can honestly say it is the best experience of my life and the best choice I've ever made. And I would never take back that day that Julie Bertones asked me to audition with her. Those are my 3 stories! Yeah! Alright, that's all I have to say today, so, Alex, I will see you tomorrow. I love you!